Well, it's all really blending all that stuff, and technology is blending a lot of it. So let me give you an example. So we fund an organisation that works in Tanzania, doing a off-grid electrical kind of model. So people don't have electricity, which has become a much more acute problem now that they have mobile phones. And the kids don't have light, so there's no light. When you go camping, it's like 5 o'clock and it's like you gotta go to sleep. It's like, Jesus, what am I gonna do? So there's good studies on basically when you put lights on people's houses, then the kids do 2 or 3 hours more study. The child rates go down, whatever it's called, the birth rates go down, because they're presumably not going to bed and at 5 o'clock, and they're actually like watching TV, and they also learn messages about sort of contraception and how having 12 kids isn't actually that cool. Having a life where you've got one and can go to a party every now and then is quite nice. So they have got this new technology, which is basically low cost solar panels and high quality lithium ion batteries and ubiquitous cell coverage to allow controllers of that, and they have field workers who have all got basically Android phones and can GPS customers and can enter data in there saying, and that drives your sales funnel. And allows you to sort of send them a text message saying, are you ready to buy yet? And then they have mobile phone based payments, so off their phone in that part of the world you pay with things on your mobile phone. So I can pay for my electricity every, once a week I pay $1 for my electricity, which is the system that I've installed, solar system with 3 lights and things, and if the person doesn't pay, they can automatically send a job to a field worker who will then go and repossess the system because they haven't paid after whatever, warning, take the system. So is that a business, or is that a social venture, or is that a so I've invested in that out of my philanthropic portfolio, and I've invested equity in that, and they had, I put in whatever, let's say $100,000 for 10% of the company, and then they went and raised money at $5 million, and I've still got sort of roughly 10%. So now I've actually made money on that. I've gone from my charitable trust. I have gone from $100,000 on the balance sheet to $500,000 on the balance sheet. And if they ever sort of sell that thing, I've got $500,000 I can give away to the next one. So to me, all that stuff is blending. But it needs to be, a market opportunity that someone will pay for, that the technology is facilitating, teams executing on, and there's that sort of stuff, and there's technologies that are emerging out of that to do that. But most of the issues are actually around sales, marketing, and distribution. Like trying to get vaccines to people in a village in the middle of nowhere is the same as trying to get. The only thing they can get is mobile phones and Coca-Cola, and God knows how that works, but they can get those. So why can't we do that for things that are actually useful? And you can if you solve that part of the problem. So when you sort of say clean tech, I'm kind of, there's a whole bunch of different things potentially encapsulated within that, from the technology through to the differences in business models. But I think ultimately, I think business is a force for good, and you sell stuff to people that they need, and there's a whole bunch of areas that people have that they don't need, like 25 pairs of shoes or whatever their thing is. But you can use the structure of business to affect change and go to scale, significant scale.